Dear students, you are most welcome in the class of mathematics by N.K. Dikshit. Today we are going to start the new chapter of class 12th, that is chapter number 11, three-dimensional geometry. So before this, in chapter number 10, vector algebra, we have studied that a directed line is called a vector. This vector is a directed line. So if a vector is making alpha, beta and gamma angles with positive direction of x, y and z axis respectively, then the cosines of these angles means cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma, these are called the direction cosine of that vector. So here in the three-dimensional geometry, if a line is given in the space, then it also makes some angles from the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So the cosines of these angles like cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are called the direction cosines of the line. So let us see with the help of the diagram what are the direction cosines of the line. Now in this figure, line is given L. It is represented by a green line. You can see here. Suppose this line makes alpha angle with x-axis, beta angle with y-axis and gamma angle with z-axis with the positive direction of these axes. Then alpha, beta and gamma, these are called direction angles, and the cosines of these angles are called direction cosines. So see, this line makes alpha angle with x-axis, beta angle with y-axis and gamma angle with z-axis. So let the line makes alpha, beta and gamma angles with the positive directions of x, y and z axis respectively. Then alpha, beta, gamma are called direction angles. Now cosines of these angles are called direction cosines. And the direction cosines are represented by the alphabets small l, small m and small n. You know, in previous chapter vector algebra we have already studied this. So L is equals to cos alpha, M is equals to cos beta and N is equals to cos gamma. Now there is one difference between vector and line. Vector is a directed line and line is can be extended in both the direction. A vector has a unidirection, that has only one direction. So here the direction cosines means the direction angles. There are another pair of direction angles, that is pi minus alpha, pi minus beta, and pi minus gamma. If we take alpha angle from this side for this line from x-axis, and from x-axis on this side the angle will be pi minus alpha. This angle will be pi minus alpha if this is alpha. So if we reverse the direction of line, if we reverse the direction of line L, then the direction angles are replaced by their supplements, and the supplements will be pi minus alpha, pi minus beta, and pi minus gamma. So the sign of direction cosines are reversed. Then direction cosines will be cos pi minus alpha, cos pi minus beta, and cos pi minus gamma, and it will give minus cos alpha, minus cos beta, or minus cos gamma, or we can say minus L, minus M, and minus N. So we can say that a line in space has two sets of direction cosines. So a line in space has two set of direction cosines. First one is L, M, N, and other one is minus L, minus M, and minus N. So these are the two sets of direction cosines. So in order to have a unique set of direction cosines of a given line in space, we must take the given line as a directed line. So these unique direction cosines are denoted by L, M, and N. So conventionally we will take the direction cosines L, M, and N, only these. So the direction cosine of a line, direction cosines of a line are L, M, and now if any three numbers are given which are proportional to the direction cosines of a line, these numbers are called direction ratios. If L, M, N are direction cosines and A, B, C are direction ratios of a line, then they are proportional. It means A is equals to lambda into L, B equals to lambda into M, and C equals to lambda into N for any non-zero lambda belongs to R. So we'll see what are the direction ratios. This is a very important term for this chapter, direction ratios. Either it is a equation of line or equation of plane, everywhere we are using direction ratios. So the direction ratios are any three numbers which are proportional to the direction cosines. any three numbers which are proportional to the direction cosines are called direction ratios. Okay, so it means the direction ratio and direction cosines are proportional. So if L, M, N represents the direction cosines, and A, B, C are direction ratios. Then A is equals to lambda into L, B is equals to lambda into M, and C is equals to lambda into N for any non-zero lambda which belongs to real number. So lambda is any real number that is non-zero. Now we will find what is the relation between direction cosines and direction ratio. One is clear, the direction ratio are the three numbers which are proportional to the direction cosines. But if direction ratios are given, then how we can obtain the direction cosines? For that, relation between direction cosines means L, M, N, and direction ratios A, B, and C. Now let us see what is the relation between these. We know that direction ratio and direction cosines are proportional to each other. So L upon A is equals to M upon B. Also it is equal to N upon C. It is equals to some new constant, that is K, where K is a constant. Therefore, we can get L is equals to A into K, M is equals to B into K, and N is equals to C into K. Is it clear? Now, we know that the relation between direction cosines, that is L square plus M square plus N square is equals to 1. Already studied in vector algebra that the direction cosines, sum of squares of direction cosines is always equals to 1. Now place the value. In place of L, we can write A into K, so it becomes A square K square B square K square, and it is C square K square equal to 1. So take K square as common, we get A square plus B square plus C square equals to 1. Now by this we can get K square is equals to 1 upon A square plus B square plus C square. So the value of K is positive or negative 1 upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. This is the value of K. So with the help of this K, we can find the direction cosines from these values. we can write the direction cosines or DCs. This is for direction cosines of the line. It will be L is equals to plus minus a upon under root a square plus b square plus c square. Now m is equals to plus minus b upon under root a square plus b square plus c square, and n is equals to plus minus c upon under root a square plus b square plus c square. So by using this formula, we can find the direction cosines if direction ratios of a line are given. Okay. So depending on the desired sign of k, either a positive or negative sign is to be taken for L, M, N. We have already discussed there are two set of direction cosines, L, M, N, and minus L, minus M, and minus N. That's why here positive and negative both signs has been taken, right? Now we are going to obtain the direction cosines of a line which is passing through 2 points. Let a line is passing through 2 points. The line is passing through two points whose coordinates are given, which are one point is P, let its coordinates are x1, y1, z1, and other point is Q, its coordinates are x2, y2, and z2. Then what will be the direction cosines of this line? Now here this line makes a gamma angle with z axis, so this angle is gamma, so this angle will be also gamma by alternate angles, okay, because z axis is a parallel to this line QS, so this angle is also gamma. So if we find what is the value of cos gamma, then it will be cos gamma is equals to Qn divided by PQ. Clear? And Qn, what is the Qn? Here on the z axis for point Q, this value is Z2. So Z2 minus Z1 divided by PQ, and the value of PQ is, that is the magnitude of the line segment PQ. So we take it PQ. And similarly, we know the line is making alpha angle with x-axis, so the value of cos alpha will be x2 minus x1 upon PQ, and cos beta is equals to y2 minus y1 upon PQ. Hence, the direction cosine of the line segment joining the points P, x1, y1, z1 and other point Q whose coordinates are x2, y2, z2 are. Hence, direction cosines of the line segment joining the points P whose coordinates are x1, y1, z1 and Q whose coordinates are x2, y2, z2 are x2 minus x1 upon pq, y2 minus y1 upon pq, z2 minus z1 upon pq. So these are the direction cosine of a line which is passing through 2 points, where the value of pq can be obtained through the distance formula. So we can use x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square within square root. Now we know that the direction ratios are the three numbers which are proportional to the direction cosines. So if we multiply all these direction cosines with pq, then we will get the direction ratios. The direction ratios of the line which passing through two points x1, y1, z1 and q, x2, y2, z2 are x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1, or other set will be x1 minus x2, y1 minus y2, z1 minus z2. So again we are getting two sets of direction ratios. So in this way, if a line is given which is passing through 2 points, we can find the direction ratio of that line. Now let us take a question. It is from exercise 11.1, question number 2. Find the direction cosines of a line which makes equal angles with the coordinate axis. It means the line is making equal angles. It means alpha, beta and gamma all are equal. So line makes equal angles with the coordinate axis. It means alpha is equals to beta is equals to gamma. Therefore cos alpha equals to cos beta is equals to cos gamma, or we can say L is equals to M is equals to N. But we know a relation between L, M and N, that L square plus M square plus N square, it is equals to 1. So because L, M and N all are equal, so we can write L square plus L square plus L square equals to 1. So we get 3 times of L square equal to 1. So L square equals to 1 by 3. Then the value of L is plus minus 1 upon under root 3. So this is the value of L, and we have L equals to M equals to N. It means the direction cosines will be plus minus 1 by root 3, plus minus 1 by root 3 and plus minus 1 by root 3. So these are the direction cosines of a line which is making equal angles with the coordinate axis. Now let us take another question. in which we are using the application of direction ratios. This is question number 4 from the exercise 11.1. So that the points 2, 3, 4, second point is -1, -2, 1, and third point is 5, 8, 7. We have to prove that these points are collinear. So, how to prove 3 points are collinear? One method we have already studied in class 11th, that find the distances between each pair of points, then sum of two distances is equals to the third distance, then we can prove the 3 points are collinear. But now we have the concept of direction ratio. With the help of direction ratio we can also prove that 3 points are collinear. So what is the concept here? You can see, let us these 3 points, point P is here, at Q is here, so first of all find the direction ratio of PQ. So the coordinates of P are 2, 3, 4, coordinates of Q -1, -2, 1, and coordinates of point R 5, 8, 7. Now the direction ratios of PQ, it will be -1, -2, -1, -2, -2, -3, 1, -4, using the formula x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. So the direction ratio will be -3, -5 and -3. Okay, so -3, -5 and -3 are the direction ratios of line PQ. This is line PQ. Now find the direction ratio of line QR. QR. So it will be 5 plus 1, 8 plus 2, 7 minus 1. So on simplification we will get 6, 10 and 6. Now check, in the both conditions direction ratio of PQ and the direction ratio of QR are proportional. If we multiply the direction ratio of PQ by -2, then we will get 6, 10 and 6. Now direction ratios of PQ are proportional to direction ratios of QR. What indicates it? It indicates that PQ and QR are parallel. It means PQ and QR are parallel. But if two lines are parallel and one point is common, because Q is the common point on both lines, it means both lines coincide. Here PQ and QR are parallel with point Q common. It means P, Q and R are in the same line. Therefore, P, Q, R are on the same line, or we can say these points are collinear. Given points are collinear. So the concept of direction ratio is very useful to prove that two lines are parallel or two lines are three points are collinear like this.